The 1st of July will be an out-of-this-world experience at the 2023 Hollywood Bets Durban July. The event will be taking place at the Greyville Racecourse. The theme is centered around transporting one into a world far beyond your imagination, from fashion, celebrities, designers and entertainment on a cosmic scale. Joining me now for more on this conversation is Stephen Marshall, Events and Marketing Executive for Gold Circle, as well as Mxolisi Mkhize, who is a fashion designer for House of St. Luke. Gentlemen, good evening. Thank you very much to the both of you for joining us here on Newsnight. Stephen, I'm going to start with you. The Durban July is Africa's biggest horse racing event. What can attendees expect this year?
We like to think of it, thanks, Sylvia. We like to think of it as the biggest horse racing and social event. Now that the COVID is behind us, at least as far as restrictions and that go, we can look forward to another capacity crowd this year, upwards of 50,000 people, which we last experienced back in 2019. But yeah, this event is built on fashion, it's built on entertainment and celebrities, and it's built on the sport of horse racing, and all of those things come together in quite a magical way at Hollywood Bets Greyville on the 1st of July, first Saturday of July. And yeah, I think the beauty of the event is that there's pretty much something for everyone. There's the general entrance ticket of 230 Rand will get you all of those three experiences: the fashion, the entertainment, and the horse racing. And even if you're spending upwards of 10,000 Rand on the ticket for a special VVIP hospitality marquee, you're obviously going to get that at a different level, but you're still going to receive and experience those same sort of factors. And that's what makes this event so special, that it appeals to such a broad market. And as I'm sure Lucy will attest to, the fashion side, this is more than just a one-day event. This whole Hollywood Bets Durban July Fashion Experience program starts way back in March when the Young Designer Awards are launched, and this coming Tuesday will be the first time that those young designers at the colleges and technicons actually get to showcase what they have developed according to the theme, which is out of this world this year. And that builds all the way to race day. So this Hollywood Bets Durban July event is just so much more than a one-day event. It takes about 4 months to roll out, and eventually the day builds up to that first Saturday in July.
And then, Stephen, the Durban July is in its 127th year, if I'm not mistaken. How was the team making sure that the Durban July stays developing and that it stays relevant? How are you guys making sure that after so many years, people still have that excitement and want to attend an event like this?
Yeah, it's 127 years uninterrupted, which is quite staggering when you consider that we've had 2 world wars during that time. We've had these 2.5 years of COVID and international pandemic, and we're still able to run this race, even though we had to run it behind closed doors for 2 of those years. I think that the key thing about the Hollywood Bets Durban July is the continuity we've had. Over that period, we've only had 3 title sponsors: Rothmans initially, then Vodacom for 20 years, and Hollywood Bets came on last year. And we're looking forward to obviously establishing a long-lasting relationship with them as well. But we've had partners such as Coca-Cola, Schweppes, who've been with the event for more than 20 years. We've had Tourism KwaZulu-Natal, who have been with the event for over 20 years. Our host city, Durban, obviously it's the Hollywood Bets Durban July. They are an integral part of this event every year as well. So I think it's definitely continuity. It's loyal partners. We work together closely as an event team to obviously stage the event, but a lot of time too is spent trying to find ways to keep this event relevant. And as I mentioned earlier, there's so many different facets to this event that appeals to such a broad market. If we were just trying to get people to come to a horse racing event, it wouldn't nearly be as successful, and we wouldn't get that many people coming. The fact that there's a fashion element to this racing event, that there's an entertainment and celebrity side to the social event, that all culminates in the sport of Kings horse racing to create quite a unique experience for a very broad market. And the theme this year, out of this world, you can expect some out of this world experiences on the 1st of July at Hollywood Bets Greyville. We've got lots in store. There's 2 stages for the public to enjoy different entertainment, from fashion to DJs to some special performers who we're going to be announcing in the very near future. And that's all available to your general access ticket holder. As I mentioned earlier, there are the VVIP marquees as well that at that next level of hospitality, which will offer a different experience, but very much in keeping with what the Hollywood Bets Durban July has become known for.
Stephen, let's just expand maybe on the theme for this year, which is out of this world. That can be interpreted in a number of ways, I think. Just talk to us about this specific theme and why the team decided to go in that route.
Every year there's a creative process that starts pretty much as soon as the previous year finishes. So we're pretty much planning for this event 12 months of the year. Every year our creative team gets together, comes up with an idea, and then we flesh that out. And this poem is generated from one of our team, a chap by the name of Ken Tudal, who's been working on this event for also over 20 years. So he knows it very well. But the significance of the theme is that it allows us to launch the roadmap for this event a full 4 months before event day. And that in itself is quite special. The reason for that is we have 3 tiers of fashion. The sort of starting block is the Young Designer Awards, and that's where we get the college students and Technikon students, design students, to compete in a competition, a fashion competition. And the fact is that this theme, this Hollywood Bets Durban July theme, has actually been incorporated into their tertiary syllabus, which is quite special in itself. And so these young budding designers, they get involved in this competition. They get exposed to full-on fashion shows, catwalk fashion shows, professional photographers. So they really do get a crash course and a foundation of their fashion design careers. We then got the Durban Fashion Fair Rising Stars, which is incorporated into the Durban Fashion Fair mentorship program. So that's the next level or next tier of fashion. And then we've got our invited designers, who are the designers with brands behind them. They've made it. And I think that's a massive success of this event, is that we look to let the fashion design industry use this event as a platform to launch their own careers.
Definitely.
And that just, again, appeals to a much broader market, and it's been highly successful.
Definitely. I think let's bring Mxolisi in here, as he is one of the fashion designers who will be involved this year. Mxolisi, just talk to us about this specific platform and its importance for more mature and established designers as yourself, but also, as Stephen mentioned, these young and up-and-coming student designers. How important is a platform like this?
Good evening, Abigail, and thank you for having us. For me, this platform was a stepping stone, and it obviously helped me launch my brand. And through the Durban Fashion Fair, and of course the Durban July, it helps you leave a brand footprint, a lasting one for that matter, because it is officially my 3rd year as an invited designer. And I feel like it's a very important and a very great platform for a young designer, because that's a stepping stone for them getting their brand out there on a big scale, So it's a very, very huge platform for a young designer. So it's very, very important.
And then, Mxolisi, obviously the Durban July, a big part of the July is the fashion, and people are dressed to the nines. You are a fashion designer you've been involved for the past 3 years now, you've mentioned. So what are some tips, maybe some do's and some do nots for dressing for the Durban July? Because this is a very auspicious occasion. It's Africa's biggest racehorse event. What are some do's and what are some big don'ts when dressing for the July?
Well, I personally believe or usually say that there are no rules in fashion, and obviously rules have been put in place to be broken, especially in fashion. But my advice to the general people would be not to interpret the theme literally. The theme is quite broad. The theme is very, very interesting this year. But I don't want people to just settle on thinking of the galaxy, the stars, only that, like the universe. I want people to go deeper, you know. And for me, in particular, for this year, my theme and my interpretation of the theme is African spirituality and the ability of spirituality to connect you to people that are not a part of this world. I don't know if you get that whole ideal concept, but just being able to connect or have, when someone is in a trance, you know, that state of mind, which is basically you are not a part of that world, of this world at that moment. You are in a trance and you are in another world. So for me, I felt like there was a lot of angles one could take to interpret the theme.
Yeah.
But mostly, I would say to people to be very, very comfortable. It's a long day, and you don't want to be stuck in an outfit that is extremely uncomfortable for you throughout the day. You know, you'll be taking pictures, you'll be walking up and down. There's a lot of activity happening at the Greyville Racecourse, so you want to be mostly very comfortable. So go for comfort. And I would also want to say go big or go home, because this theme is so broad and it's so interesting. So don't be afraid to explore with color as well. I mean, we Africans and we are in Africa. We've got so many. We've got such a rich culture, you know, we've got the Zulu beads, we've got the Indebele prints, we've got so much one can explore with, and one can steal inspiration from our different cultures and create interesting looks. So I would just say to people, don't just only think of intergalactic or the meta space or the meta world or the universe and galaxies. Actually think even closer to home and explore with our rich heritage and colors.
Well, I hope that some of our viewers who will be attending the Durban July has had some fashion inspiration from you, Mxolisi. Thank you very much to both of you gentlemen for your time. We appreciate you sharing all of these details with us, and I hope that the Durban July, as always, will be a huge success this year. That was Stephen Marshall. He's the Events and Marketing Executive for Gold Circle, as well as Mxolisi Mkhize, who is a fashion designer for House of St. Luke, who will be showcasing at this year's Hollywood Bets Durban July.